movie sucked.
It didn't suck. Hey guys, just got through watching a movie. I know I'm a couple of weeks behind, but just got through watching G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra. And I thought I'd bring Lee here with me to go watch the movie because he's a die-hard fan. So, let's talk
I'm a
about
fan of Die Hard.
Well, yeah, but... No, I thought you said you were a die-hard fan of G.I. Joe.
When I was little.
Okay, well, that's good enough. Just got through watching it. I personally really like the film. You know, I'm giving it 7.5 or so on the shit-o-meter. I'd probably spend the $20 to get it, but that would only be like a month or so after it came out. Lee?
Scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably give it about a 5.
Seriously?
Yeah, it was Metacore. The action scenes made up for it, but the storyline sucked.
Okay.
I'd be willing to pick it up on discount.
Okay, so how much money would you spend?
About $14, $15.
Okay. I thought the storyline, okay, let's be fair. This movie was made for kids.
It's PG-13. It's made for teenagers.
Okay, and a lot of teenagers are stupid.
Yeah, I cannot argue that.
Okay. So a lot of points in the movie were easy to pick up on. The second you saw Zartan, the master of disguise, sitting down and reconfigure his face, the only thing you can think of is, oh, he's going to become some big world leader. Like, I don't know, the president?
Yeah, that was pretty pick up on. And Zartan's changed a lot from the old comic books and G.I. Joe figurines.
True, but you got to admit, having the same guy playing the Arab and Mummy playing him, that was pretty cool. I like the way that he acted. That was pretty solid acting there. The whole Baroness is Cobra Commander's sister.
Yeah, that was a pretty ironic twist.
It was really kind of pulling together.
The Baroness happens to be the lover of Destro, she also happens to be the sister of Cobra Commander and the ex-love of Duke.
That's a pretty fucked up family tree.
Yeah.
Love relationship ties are just... It was kind of pointless to do it that way anyway. I mean, you wouldn't really have to make Cobra Commander her brother at all. Just make it where he was the guy that injected her with nanites and made her evil.
Yeah, it would have made a good plot twist if he had learned that they were trying to recruit Duke back then and picked her up.
Yeah, exactly. Just to make sure that they would have that rivalry between each other.
Yeah.
Having a lot of the characters there was pretty cool. I mean, like, believe it or not, I actually thought the Wayans brother playing Ripcord, he did a much better job there than he had in, like, several of his movies.
Yeah. He also brought a little bit of comic relief to the movie.
Exactly, and, I mean...
Which the storyline itself is comical enough.
Well, it's a G.I. Joe thing. I mean, what do you expect? I mean, like, Cobra had, you know, baskets of snakes dropping from Zeppelin balloons to attack the White House in an episode. Okay, it's stupid. Oh, and speaking of Cobra Commander,
They fucked up the mask.
hardcore. Like, literally, when he put that thing on, he looked like he was getting ready to play paintball. That's all it does. He seriously looked like he was just getting ready to just suit up and he was going to go out into a field. I would have much preferred a more classic style mask. You know, the mirror mask that went across the face. I know you never watched it, but there's this great movie called Vidocq. That's a French film. And it's about, well, Gerard Depardieu plays this famous old French detective that did some supernatural hunting. And he goes against this guy.
Golden Luger?
No, he didn't. This wasn't male material. But he did have, like, the guy he faced was called Mirror Mask. And all he was just completely...
See that.
Yeah, it's just straight across the face, Mirror Mask. And whenever someone looked into it, they, like, saw their own death half the time. And see, if Cobra Commander had pulled off shit like that, he would have looked perfect. Because all it was is, like, this menacing, you never see Cobra Commander, you only see yourself in his eyes. And then you could do that whole, like, you know, no matter how evil you think you are, I mean, you think I am, look at yourself. Or, you know, something like that. That would have been cool.
That would have been another cheesy line for the film.
Exactly. Well, okay. They do say the
You
real
and
American
what
hero.
army?
Yeah. You and what army? This army. They say Yo Joe. What was some of the other stuff? I mean, they said some really cheesy lines. But also at the same time, you know, look at the guy who directed the movie. It's the same guy who did The Mummy.
Yeah. Mummy 1, 2,
3.
Scorpion King.
Scorpion King. The new one with the dragon.
Oh, yeah. I tried to forget about that.
Hard to forget Lee. Jet Li. Why? It had some other problems with it too. I mean, not some big stuff like the CGI.
Yeah, the CGI in the combat scenes, so CGI for 90% of the movie was so obvious that it actually took away from the movie. It's like, but the cool thing about screwing up the CGI like that, it was a mere fact by screwing up the CGI so much that like the cannons and the weapons they used actually resembled the old toys that I grew up with.
Exactly. It was so cheesy that it looked like they were playing with toys,
Yeah.
and those toys looked so fucking cool you wanted to buy them.
Now the thing is, when I was watching the movie, the storyline is crap compared to movies that I expect nowadays. But yet, if you were to go back and visit the old G.I. Joe storylines, that storyline actually made a lot of sense.
Yeah. Destro has a nanite machine that's going to eat Paris.
Yeah.
No, hey, it works. Hey, let's most definitely go with this.
Speaking of nanites, another variation from the original G.I. Joe that I did not like about the movie was the mere fact that the Cobra Troopers were still humans. And in the old animated series and in the books and comic books and everything, the Cobra Troopers were robotics or androids, whatever you want to call them. That was because G.I. Joe would not have the fan base it would have if the Joes were ripping apart normal humans like they are in this film.
Yeah, same thing with Transformers, you know? That's why there were the Autobots and Decepticons, because it could be big robots fighting each other instead of going against, you know, the humans. Because they couldn't have a bunch of kids' toys that were all about destroying the human populace.
And speaking about the human populace, so you know how much collateral damage was caused in the movie?
Oh, dear God. Okay, if those suits that they wore cost, you know, millions each, they destroyed the Eiffel Tower. They destroyed a base that covered, you know, a very large chunk of the polar ice caps. The pit that's down the bottom of the Sahara Desert was completely frickin' wrecked.
Well, I was more concerned about the fact that during the main chase scene with the
Oh, yeah.
they're like tearing up vehicles that probably have civilians in them. They're crashing through trains. Imagine the casualty rates from the G.I. Joes alone, not to mention what Cobra is doing.
Oh, yeah, and I mean, think about it. During that chase scene, do you remember that 1-2-second shot right before the Cobra's Hummer bumps into that bus?
Yeah.
There's a scene of just these people, like, reading, and then all of a sudden they're just like, dead.
Smeared.
Yeah. I mean, you don't even think about those kind of people. I mean, of course, back when we were kids, all this destruction could take place, and you're just like, dude, go Joe. But, you know, being adults now, we kind of look at it as, wow, you just slaughtered, you know, probably 1,000 people during your little chase scene. No wonder the French threw you in jail, and you deserved it.